Ah,
Yeah. A very good morning to you and welcome to the Morpeth Parish Reflection. My name's Nigel, and this morning Richard and myself will be sharing the effect, the impact of COVID and the lockdown has had on us, and one hope for the so-called new normal, and we hope that this will encourage you. So, Richard, can you tell us about one aspect of COVID-19, the lockdown, and what it's had on your life?
the pandemic's affected me in a number of ways, and the main one is it's given me time to reflect on what I've done wrong in the past and hopes for the future. And the positive thing is the hope for the future, in that it has highlighted the fault lines in society and how we as human beings treat each other and the planet. And the main thing, that the positive thing that comes out of the pandemic for me is the world has changed, and it needs to change, not just for change's sake, but for the better. As the politicians have said, there's a new norm. That new norm will need to be a better new norm, where we treat the planet and each other with greater respect. The positive thing with this time on my hand is I've been able to read a little bit more, and the book which I would commend people to is The Pilgrim Continues His Way. And this is a book on prayer, meditation, and how no matter what faults we think we have, the main fault is that we forget God. We don't follow that first commandment of to love God. And for me, that is the very positive thing that has come out of the pandemic. Nigel, that is my heartfelt thought.
Yeah.
How has it affected you?
Right. Well, a number of things to do with work, which I won't discuss, but I think for me, the really positive thing, started using Zoom for family phone calls. And as a family, we've seen and spoken to our extended families, both my wives and myself, much more we've done in years. We sit down on Sunday, talk to my wife's family for a good half hour, then a couple of hours later, we talk to my family, and we've actually started doing quiz and playing Scrabble via Zoom. Is actually quite good fun. Importantly for mum, who's by herself, it means you can see her grandchildren, her children, and that's been very good for her. Also work, it's actually much easier to go between meetings, and those of you who try to park in a hospital car parking, like how hard that is, they all happen online. It's much easier, it's much quicker, and hopefully that will go forwards. Another thing for the new normal will be online church services. I'm at the moment, I'm on call. I can do that from my home. I don't have to take the phone to church, put it on silent, and then have people stare at me when I take it out to check it halfway through the sermon. It's much easier. I can sit at home, be on call, and take part in the service. Great. And the other good thing about lockdown is cycling to work, middle of April, saw 2 small deer on the way up Wattle Bank. It was lovely.
Do you miss the friendship and companionship with being office or being home locked, as opposed to being in an office or meeting people face to face?
It's
Different?
It's strange. It's different. I think because at work, obviously, we're wearing face masks, and that puts a barrier between you. So I do miss that a bit, but I'm not the world's most extrovert person. I'm actually quite introverted. So, as my wife puts it, how does she put it? A little bit of distant at times. So actually, that's sort of me. But yes, it is, and that has been quite hard. I have felt a bit isolated going to and from work, and with everybody else at home.
Thank you. Now, would you like your prayer now, Nigel, and I'll do my prayer?
Yes, good idea. This, at the beginning of the year, we both, myself and wife, thought that something big was coming. We didn't know what it was. My prayer is that God will go on supporting us as life carries on and a new normal comes, and he will guide us and hopefully will increase our faith. Amen.
Amen. My personal prayer is I pray for humility, God's guidance in prayer, his blessing to act, and if necessary, consulting with others. Amen.
Amen.